गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनाचारी यमुनातीरवनाचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन यमुनातीरवनाचारी यमुनातीरवनाचारी हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha, Vallabha Radha, Vallabha Shri Radhe. Jayo Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jayo Subhadra. Jayo Gauranitai, 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 Jayo Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavateruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for today's discussion of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We are reading from Canto 8, Chapter 24, titled as Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation. Okay, we are reading from verse number 4. Is this visible for the Matajis, the board? Okay. Shri Suta Uvacha Ityukto Vishnuratena Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishnor Matsya Rupena Yatkritam Shri Suta Uvacha Ityukto Vishnuratena Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishno Matsya Rupena Yatkritam Shri Suta Uvacha Ityukto Vishnuratena Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishno Matsya Rupena Yatkritam Shri Suta Uvacha Ityukto Vishnuratena Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishnu Matsya Rupena Yatkritam Shri Suta Uvacha Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishnu Matsya Rupena Yatkritam Shri Suta Uvacha Ityukto Vishnuratena Bhagavan Badarayanihi Matsya Rupena Yatkritam Shri Suta Uvacha Ityukto Vishnuratena Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishnor Matsya Rupena Yat Kritam. Shri Suta Uvacha. Shri Suta Goswami said, Iti Uktaha, thus being questioned, Vishnuratena, by Maharaja Parikshit, known as Vishnurata, Bhagavan, the most powerful, Badarayanihi, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukadeva Goswami, Uvacha, said, Charitam, the pastimes, Vishnoho, of Lord Vishnu, Matsya Rupena, by him in the form of a fish, Yat, whatever, Kritam, was done. Translation. Suta Goswami said, when Parikshit Maharaj thus inquired from Shukadeva Goswami, the most powerful saintly person began describing the pastimes of the Lord's incarnation as a fish. We'll read the next verse because there's no purport. Shri Shukha Uvacha Go Viprasura Sadhunam Chandasam Apicheshwaraha Raksham Ichham Stanurdhatte Dharmasyarthasya Chaivahi. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, for the sake of protecting the cows, brahmanas, demigods and devotees, the Vedic literature, religious principles and principles to fulfill the purpose of life, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts forms of incarnations. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead generally appears in various types of incarnations to give protection to the cows and brahmanas. The Lord is described as Go Brahmana Hitayacha. In other words, he is always eager to benefit the cows and brahmanas. When Lord Krishna appeared, he purposefully became a cowherd boy and showed personally how to give protection to the cows and calves. Similarly, he showed respect to Sudama Vipra, a real Brahmana. From the Lord's personal activities, human society should learn how to give protection specifically to the Brahmanas and the cows. Then, the protection of religious principles, fulfillment of the aim of life, and protection of the Vedic knowledge can be achieved. Without protection of cows, Brahminical culture cannot be maintained, and without Brahminical culture, the aim of life cannot be fulfilled. The Lord, therefore, is described as Go Brahmana Hitayacha because his incarnation is only for the protection of the cows and Brahmanas. Unfortunately, because in Kali Yuga there is no protection of the cows and Brahminical culture, everything is in a precarious position. If human society wants to be exalted, the leaders of society must follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and give protection to the cows, the Brahmanas, and Brahminical culture. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guruns Vaishna Vamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yam pravrajantam anupetam apeta krityam dvaipayana viraha katara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravobhinedu stham sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. So, Hare Krishna, it's another beautiful chapter, another beautiful incarnation of the Lord, the fish incarnation. It's definitely not a fairy tale, because Puranas have a wonderful way to explain the stories and the pastimes of the Lord. Especially the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. In the first canto, Vyasadeva goes into despondency and he thinks, in Kali Yuga, the whole world is going to go down to the drain because people will become, because Vyasadeva is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. This Vyasadeva, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, he's none other than the Lord. So he's the literary incarnation. So he envisions that the population are going to go down. They are going to become, they're going to associate themselves with the material as a material product. He says, Yaya sammohito jiva atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manute nartham tatkritam chabhipadyate. Yaya sammohito jiva. So the three modes of material nature is, if someone can get a chair for Mahatma Prabhu. I agree. Thank you, Prabhuji. Oh, somebody's getting it, Vijay Prabhu. Someone's getting it. So, the jivas are sammohito. Sammohito. Mohito means to get bewildered according to the three modes of material nature. Paro api mannute na artham means because they are getting bewildered, they associate themselves as a material product. They identify themselves as a material product. They forget that they are the supreme eternal energy of the Lord called Jivatma. They forget that. Therefore, Vyasadeva was thinking, how do I save these people? How do I save these beings, these Atmas, from going down into the lower species of life? Then Vyasadeva writes in his own book, Anarthopashamam sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhitam. Anartha. Anartha. What is anartha? What do you mean by anartha? Sorry, Mataji. Unwanted things, superfluous, redundant things. So, anartha upashamam sakshat, to destroy anything that is unwanted or superfluous. What is that is unwanted? Bad qualities, anything else? What is that is unwanted? Anartha. False ego? Yeah, that we know that the anarthas is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, the greed, lust, anger, illusion, bewilderment. All of these are anarthas. But at the same time, the material existence itself is an anartha. This material body itself is an anartha in one sense. Of course, now we've got a body, we've got to make the best of the bad bargain. But anartha upashamam, he wants to destroy all these anarthas. Not only the anarthas as greed, anger and others, but even our material existence, and go back home, back to Godhead in our original existence. What did he give? He gave bhakti yogam adhokshaje. Adhokshaje, the word adhokshaje, it's a beautiful, the beauty of Sanskritam. When you know the meaning of the words, it makes so much sense because it's full of etymology. Aksha means what? Aksha means? Eyes. Aksha also means senses. Aksha. Ja means what? Born, to be born. Janma. Janma comes from the root called ja. Janma is ja. Aksha ja means that which is born out of the senses. Everything that you see and perceive through the senses is called akshaja. Adha akshaja means that which cannot be perceived with the senses. He is adhokshaja. So that is the meaning of adhokshaja. Bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya janato vidvam. So what did he do for that? He says chakre. Chakre means he composed satvata samhitam. So he composed the medicine for the sammohana, for the bewilderment of the jivas, the satvata samhitam. What is the satvata samhitam? The Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So he has composed the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to save us all. So that is the medicine. That is the medicine for the jiva's disease. Because as Kali Yuga progresses, people will identify themselves as a material product more and more. We see in India, when they are driving, when the auto wala rushes, he says, "Hey, auto!" We'll call him auto. And the auto wala also thinks he's auto. He will address, when he'll reply back, because we are calling him an auto and he will think he's an auto. You see, material identification. Recently, there was a video which was shared. There was a traffic jam in Mumbai. And in the traffic jam, these people had recorded in their dash cam camera. There were a line of cars lying down on the traffic and they were not moving. And in between these two cars, there was this lady standing. And when the traffic stood, she stood there. When the traffic moved, she moved. And the GoPro camera had, the dash cam camera had captured her. The driver did not know why she is in between the cars. And later they found out she actually was ingrained so much in her subconscious mind that she always drove. That day she did not drive because she didn't have a car. But she thought she was in the car and she was still standing in the traffic, walking actually. And when the traffic moved, she was walking. And when the traffic stopped, she was just standing there for 5 minutes without moving. And the dashcam guy was saying, why is she even standing here? She can just go on the footpath and walk. But she was just in the traffic. So much identifying with the material body, you see. So much identification, so much people have lost their minds in pursuit of these material emoluments. So it's very important that although we are deathless, we are immune to old age, disease, and destruction. We have kind of identified ourselves with this matter which is ever changing actually. And that is why Śrīmad Bhāgavatam has been composed. But at the same time, what is the qualification? How do you take this medicine? Because when you go to a doctor, he gives you a prescription, isn't it? In the prescription, he gives you two things. What is that? What does a doctor give in a prescription? Haigriva. What does a doctor write in a prescription? Medicine and. Correct. So what is that? The process of taking the medicine. Is it not? He'll give you the medicine, but he'll also tell you what is the process, how to take it. You have to take it in the morning or in the afternoon. So he'll say 1, 0, 1. That means you take it in the morning and in the night. So there's a notation in which he says. Or he will say half, 0, half, or half, 0, 1. Oh, we have a doctor here, so sorry. So Prabhu will tell us. Yeah, so what is that? BD is? Before breakfast and dinner? Okay, BD, there you go. So he gives you a prescription of how it should be taken. In the same way, in the Bhagavatam, it is also giving us the medicine and the prescription of how it should be taken. There's a wonderful story. Tukaram, all you've heard of Tukaram ji? Tukaram was a great devotee of Vitthal Bhagavan in the Maharashtrian region. So one day he was doing kirtan. Abhang, he's very famous for his abhang, so his kirtan. And he went into ecstasy and he started singing and went into ecstasy and many hours passed. So when he started, thousands of people had gathered. By the time he had opened his eyes, 90% of the people had gone home. Maybe 5% more had slept there with their chadars on their top. And remaining 1% was right in front of Tukaramji and eagerly hearing it. And Tukaramji became very pleased. He said, how eager you are to hear Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan. Then he was so happy and he said, Maharaj, wo ka hai ki you are sitting on my chadar, so I'm waiting for that chadar to go. So the medicine is important, but we'll also have to see why we are hearing it. We need to know why we are hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So in fact, if you see in the 10th canto or even across the canto, you will see Parikshit Maharaj. In the 10th canto, there is a verse which called Tad Bruhi Me Mahayogin Param Kautuhalam Guroho Nunam Yetad Dharereva Maya Bhavati Nanyatha. Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Param Kautulam Guroho. Kautulam means I am very, very eager. What happens? This is the chapter where Shukadeva Goswami is giving pastimes of killing of Dhenukasura. You know, at the beginning of the chapter, when Parikshit Maharaj is saying that Dhenukasura is there and the Talavan is there, Parikshit Maharaj is getting very eager to hear Kautuhalam. So this Kautuhalam is the prescription to take the medicine of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Of course, you are allowed to sleep in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam because it is a cure for insomnia as well. One preacher was saying, Bhagavatam is so powerful that it can give medicine even for people who have insomnia. It is said, if you can't have sleep, please come to Bhagavatam classes. You will get very good sleep. Your insomnia can be cured. So Bhagavatam is Bhavaroga Aushadhi also. It is a medicine even for material disease. These two verses, this verse especially, the first verse spoke about Ityukto Vishnuratena, Vishnurata, again beautiful, Ratena means Rata. Rata means to engage into or to become harmonious with, harmonious. Bharata, you know, Bharata means, Arjuna is called Bharata sometimes. Bha means the Supreme Lord. Bhagavan comes from the dhatu Bha. Rata means one who is inside Bharata. Ratjana, they say in Hindi or in Sanskritam. Vishnuratena means one who is ingrained or become harmonious with Vishnu. That means he's become Vishnu Maya. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is called as Ityukto Vishnuratena. Sorry, Vishnurata means Maharaj Parikshit, who is known as Vishnurata. Bhagavan Badarayanihi Uvacha Charitam Vishnoho Matsya Rupena Yatkritam. So he wants to hear more about the incarnation of the fish, the Matsya Rupa. So the Lord comes in so many forms, and one of the form he's going to now take is Matsya Rupa. These are cosmic creations. These are not creations that we see every day, because these creations, to witness this creation, you have to be during the time of cosmic creations. So these are very early times. And the next verse, when Shukadeva Goswami begins, he says, he actually quotes the purpose of the Lord's descent. Go vipra sura sadhunam chandhasam apicheshwaraha raksham ichham stanurdhatte dharmasyarthasya chaivahi. He actually quotes why the Lord appears. And Prabhupada's mood in the purport is, Krishna appears for two reasons. What is that? Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagat Hitaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Namaha. Now one may think, Krishna appears for Go and Brahmana, that means he only appears for second initiated devotees, not for first initiated devotees. He only comes for the cows, not for the buffaloes and the horses and the elephants. What happens to the dogs? What happens to many other animals? You know, these questions come to our mind. Why only cows? Why only Brahmanas? This is the typical question that comes to our mind. But we have to understand this question comes in our mind for two reasons. Because what does Krishna mean by Brahmanas? That's first question. Second, why the cows? Because when we talk about a cow, in India, if you're in India, you know only one type of cow, especially if you're in the the cities or urban areas, you know only one type of cows. That cows which keeps eating near the garbage, the plastic bags, and they are a nuisance to the traffic. This is the definition of the cow that's in our mind actually. But who are in the farm, that's a different conception of a cow. And for second initiated or ISKCON devotees, Brahmana means second initiation, one who can enter the altar. That's the constricted definition of go and Brahmana, you see. But that is not what Krishna means. Go Brahmana Hitayacha does not mean only that. It's not limited only that. And he also is Jagad Hitaya. Jagat means what? Jagat means this world. Jagat Hitaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Namaha. So we will just meditate a little bit on this aspect. Why meditate on Prabhupada's mood of why Prabhupada writes like this in the purport about what is the purpose of Krishna's advent. The word Krishna itself is very attractive. You know why? What do you mean by Krishna? All attractive. And where is it derived from? All attractive. Karshayati iti Krishna. If you break the Sanskritam, Karshana means Akarshana, means attraction. Karshayati, he can attract everything. So what did he attract? He attracted Devaki and Vasudeva by coming in the womb of Devaki and Vasudeva. He attracted the Kamsa to come and kill the 7 children who were born to Vasudeva and Devaki. Then he attracted Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Then he attracted the Gopas and the Gopika Stris. Then he attracted the demons to Vrindavana and killed them. Then he came to Mathura and attracted Kuvalaya Pida, the elephant. Then he attracted Chanura and Mushtika. Then he attracted Kamsa. Then he attracted Jarasandha. Then he attracted the 18,000 Akshauhini, which is 4 million warriors all assembled at one time and finished them off in 18 days. Then he attracted the Pandavas. Then he attracted Duryodhana. Then he attracted everyone to Dwaraka. Then he attracted Uddhava. Then he attracted Rukmini. So he's always attracting everyone, but his attraction is different to gravity. Gravity attracts you down, Krishna attracts you towards him. It is Utkarsha. He attracts us all towards him. Therefore, Krishna means to attract. Therefore, he is all attractive. He is beautiful. He is all attractive and he attracts everyone. But Krishna also has another meaning. Why? Because when we see Jagadhitaya Krishnaya, Krishna, if you break Krishna, it is Krishna. Krishi means the Mother Earth. It is Bhuvachaka Shabda. It is Mother Earth. Na means to give ananda, to give pleasure to Mother. So he also comes to give pleasure to this Mother Earth. How did Krishna descend to this material world? What was the episode? If you read in Krishna book, what was the episode? How does Krishna descend? Huh? Before that, that is Krishna's words. But how does Krishna descend into the material world? Correct. The Mother Earth goes and prays to Brahmaji that I am burdened with my children who are demoniac by nature. Dvavimao purushau loke ksharas kshakshara evacha. And Dvavimao sarge. In this sarga there are 2 types of people. One is Sura and Asura. There are Dvabhuta sargau lokesmin daivasura evacha. Daiva and Asura. And the mother feels burdened, never feels burdened for their children, for her children. She only feels burdened when there are asuras, when the children go, broke. So then she comes to Brahmaji, and what does Brahmaji do? Take her to where? Correct. To Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. But then how does Mother Earth go? I let off the secret. She takes the form of a cow. Now, why does she take a form of the cow? It's important to meditate on, right? It's important. She takes the form of a cow to go. She's a consort of the Lord. Bhudevi is the consort of the Lord. Shri Devi and Bhudevi. If you go to Tirupati Srinivasa has 2 consorts standing. One is Shri Devi, one is Bhudevi. One is Lakshmi Devi and one is Prithvi, the Bhudevi, Mother Earth. The Bhudevi does not go as it is. She goes in the form of a cow, disguised as a cow, interestingly. So that's very interesting. Why does she go as a cow? For this reason. Because Krishna loves the cows and Krishna loves the land. But Krishna loves the cows better and therefore he is Jagadhitaya. We will actually see and try to peel the secrets of this mantra, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya. We will just meditate a little bit more on Krishna's beautiful names. In the Vishnu Sahasranamam, it is also said, Uttaro Gopatir Gopta Jnana Gamya Puratanaha Sharira Bhuta Bhridbhokta Kapindro Bhuri Dakshinaha. There is a verse in the 53rd verse, which is almost the 500th name of the Lord. It is called as Uttaro Gopatihi Gopta. There are 3 names of the Lord that is said. Uttaro. Uttara means one who is the one who can liberate. Uttara means Uttar means north. One who can pick you up. That is what is called Uttara. One who liberates you is Uttara. What liberates us? That name Uttara itself liberates us. Yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat. Just by remembering the name of the Lord, janma samsara bandhanat, you can be relieved out of this cycle of birth and death. By remembering what? By remembering the beautiful names of the Lord. So that is what Uttara means. Krishna tells this in the Bhagavad Gita. Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So if you invest your chitta, consciousness in me, I become your swift deliverer from this ocean of material world, birth and death. So therefore Uttara means one who delivers. Then the next name is Gopatihi. What is the meaning of Gopati? Protector of cows. Very nice. You know, this word go is very interesting because go means so. What is the meaning of go? Cow or senses. Go has so many, thank you Mataji, many other meanings. Go means the senses, go means the cows, go means the land, go means the Vedas, go means the words. So it means he is the pati of all of this. Pati means what? Husband. What do you mean by husband? Protector. Pati iti pati. Palanat iti pati. Palana means one who protects. I don't know, in where I come from, you know, when you put a plant, you make your soil in a semicircle way to protect its mulch or water. You make a mound around it which can hold water. That is called pati. Pati means which protects the plant. So pati means one who protects. Pati, palana. So gopatihi means one who protects the senses. From what? Go also, the go word comes from the dhatu gam. Gam dhatu. Gam means to move. To move. He is the one who protects of all that which moves. He protects the senses because the senses moves everywhere to the sense objects, so he protects it. Then he protects the mind, where the mind goes to so many sense objects, he protects the mind. Then he protects the body by moving from one body he protects the body from moving to so many places. Then he protects the jivatma from moving to one body to another. So therefore he is the pati of all of this, because on one end go means the senses, go means the mind, go means the body, go means the intelligence, go means the jiva, go means all of this, and he is the pati of all of. Therefore he is Gopatihi. And he also protects the words. Go also means the words that are emanating. He also protects the words. What do you mean by protecting the words? He protects the words of his devotees. You know the story of Bhishma Dev. On the 10th day, on the 9th day, what happens? Duryodhana taunts Bhishma Dev. He says, what are you doing? It's been 9 days and you are the commander-in-chief. You haven't done anything to the Pandavas and you are the only soldier whom I'm expecting that you will destroy. So he keeps on taunting, and Bhishma Dev immediately, because of anger, he takes a vow. You know, Bhishma Dev, Bhishma means he takes big vows. And he takes a vow that I will make Draupadi a widow. He takes a vow like that. And Krishna thinks, oh my God, here he takes another vow. Bhishma Dev is famous for his vows. This is the vow, he takes it on the 9th day. So on the 10th day, what Krishna does, he tells Draupadi to go into the Shibhira, in the tent of Bhishma Dev, and take his blessings early in the morning. Generally, when old people are sought for blessings, they, especially Matajis, the blessing that they give is Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. Sumangali means one who is Mangali. Mangali means auspicious. Especially you're married. So you always be married and be under the protection of your husband. That is what is called Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. So without the knowledge of Bhishma Dev, she is waiting. As soon as Bhishma Dev wakes up, she pays obeisances, and Bhishma Dev is Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. And then she gets up. Then Bhishma Dev says, wow. Because yesterday he has vowed to make her a widow, and today he has given a blessing that Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. Now Bhishma thinks, I've taken a vow to kill all her husbands, and now I've given her a blessing that you eternally be wedded. Now he's in duvidha. What do I do? I have taken a vow. I cannot break my vow. Now I have given a blessing. I cannot take my blessing back. So then he looks at Krishna and he tells Krishna, Krishna, you cheated me again. You made me bless her like this so that, what do I do? Then Krishna tells that Krishna wanted to teach him a lesson. He says, vows are important as long as it is helping Dharma to progress. But if those vows which are not helping Dharma, then you better don't follow those vows. So he said, you took a vow yesterday to make Draupadi a widow. That was a vow to protect Adharma. Today you gave blessings to Draupadi so that she can eternally be happy with her husbands. It is a blessing to protect Dharma. So you have to break your vow that protects Adharma. That's what Krishna says. And Bhishma Dev says, whatever your desire is, my Lord, so shall be. But then Krishna says, because you will break your vow of protecting the Pandavas, I will also break my vow because you have told me that I have to pick a weapon. So I will pick a weapon. So this is what the discussion happens between them. And Krishna, as you know, he says, he doesn't need any weapon. He just picks up the chariot wheel and drives towards, and he rushes towards Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma Dev says, now my time has come. So this is the beautiful, and he upkept the words of Bhishma Dev and also he made his own vow to break. This was a lesson that Krishna taught. That's why Krishna is called Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. He is the supreme teacher of all. He teaches by every activity Krishna teaches. So he made Bhishma Dev break his irreligious vow by protecting the Kauravas. That is the understanding of Gopatihi. And then Gopta. Gopta means go. Again, go also can be broken down as Gupta. Gup means hide. So he hides himself from non-devotees. Duryodhana taught him to be just a cowherd boy. Gupta or Gopta. So therefore, in so many ways, we can understand the meaning of the word Krishna as Gopatihi, Gopala, Gopa, Gopta. Now we will go. I was just dissecting the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada's purport has 11 points in this. If you break down Prabhupada's, it's an amazing mode of Prabhupada. In the first line, he says the main reason for the incarnation of the Lord. Now Matsya avatar is coming in. So he wants to protect the Muni and he wants to protect the world. And therefore Matsya avatara is happening. Now we have to see the second part. The second part, Prabhupada writes that his incarnation is to give protection to cows and brahmanas, and the Lord is described as Go Brahmana Hitayacha. One should now ask, what is this affinity of Krishna to the cows? Why is Krishna attracted to the cows? Why is Krishna attracted to the cows? Huh? Okay. Okay. Okay, because of the milk, butter, cheese. They are mothers because they give milk. Okay. Okay. These are the qualities of the cow. Yes. Okay. Anything else? Why the cows? Why not the horses, the donkeys, and dogs and elephants? Why only the cows? It does not mean that other living beings are not important. There must be something more than just milk. There must be something more. It cannot be just Krishna. I know he was born as a Vaishya. He was a businessman. He was born to Nanda Maharaj, who was selling milk products. But that doesn't mean that was the intent. He likes the cows. It should be something more. When Krishna does something, it is beyond a mundane cause. Because Krishna's every activity, you can study lifetimes after lifetimes, producing theses after theses. Just go Brahmana Hitayacha. One can spend lifetime on it, analyzing why he is favorable to the cows. In one of the works called Madhva Vijaya, Narayana Panditacharya glorifies Krishna as Anakulam Gokulam Ullalasa Yat Palitam Nityatmana Vilatma Tasmai Namo Nirada Nilabhase Krishnaya Krishna Ramana Priyaya. He says, Oh Krishna, here he is referring both to Krishna and Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. You look like the bluish dark rain cloud. You come here, Gokula Ullalasa. You bring pleasure to Gokula. you also bring yatpalitam nityatma avilatma, nitya avilatma. Means you always bring pleasure to the cows by protecting the cows. When he says this, he actually means cows as in cows. Cows also means the scriptures. So Vyasadeva protected the scriptures by protecting it, by writing them down, and Krishna protected the cows. Now why did he protect the cows? We'll come to it. Yes, Mataji. Yes, good. That's one step further. We'll go further. We have to meditate on that a little bit. Again, Krishna is the ultimate teacher. What does he teach? What does he teach? Bhagavad Gita. And of course, as Vyasadeva, as Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. But it is just not that. Krishna teaches human beings only. Why? Because it is seen, if you observe now a little bit of geography for us. If you see the whole world, material nature, it seems that everything is interwoven and harmoniously working together. Is it not? There is a farm in Queensland called as, they produce bananas. Have you heard of eco bananas? Have you seen those bananas with wax tip bananas with red and green tips? The wax at the bottom? If you go and visit their website, these bananas are called as biodynamic bananas. Go bananas on bananas. These bananas are not even organic, they are biodynamic. What does it mean, biodynamic? Every insect in that farm contributes to the production of a produce called banana. Starting from a fly, to a bee, to a toad, to a tortoise, or to a wasp, or a bee, or a butterfly. Everything is working harmoniously, augmenting each other to produce a sustainable food, not product, not as a product, as food. And they grow this, and they actually document every insect in their farm, because wasps are very important. Because all we know about a wasp is it will bite us. Is it not? Because we don't see it from a natural ecosystem perspective. So every animal, every living being, apart from humans, okay, apart from indigenous humans also, we should say indigenous humans are very close to nature. The non-indigenous humans, everyone else, actually are working harmoniously in nature. For example, a monkey, one may say, what is the use of a monkey, Prabhuji? Generally, wild monkeys help to prune the branches. What is the help of a butterfly or a bee? It is said, Einstein said, if butterflies and bees vanish on this planet, humans will vanish within a few days. Humans cannot sustain, because the pollination, the agricultural thing will not happen without them. Of course, science says we can pollinate using bots and robots, but that is absurdity actually. We cannot produce so many. So bees and butterflies are so important. So every living being has a purpose. And you see, every being always progresses further in their accession towards spirituality. Every animal does not fall down. The falling down business is only for humans. Because once the whole point is you reach the human species of life, after human you have to get out of this material world. But after coming to human, a human can either go forward or fall back. But the animal kingdom is not like that. They always go forward. They don't fall back. So if you see, but they do not know that they are going forward. That's the only difference. Here, humans have a blessing and a curse. They have a decision to make out of their will, whether to progress, whether to fall back. That is why as human, Manava, the birth of human being is so durlabha, is so rare and yet so important and yet so dangerous. Because from there we can fall down to the animalistic species. And from then we are yantra rudhani mayaya. Krishna continues with the natural progression of the species. That is why it is very important. Therefore, we have to understand why cows? Why cows? This can be answered if we know the answer, what sustains all of us. What sustains every existence on this existence? What sustains every being on this existence? What sustains all of us? Huh? Oxygen, air, what else? What sustains us? Water, good. Anything else? As bodied I'm talking, not as soul. As a body, what sustains us? Yes, Madhav. Food. You know, food comes from where? Land. So earth, water, fire, these are foundational principles for our existence. Now, what has that got to do with cows? That is why it is very important. Cow comes from the word gauhu in Sanskritam. Gauhu comes from the root dhatu gam. Gam or gum means to move. Go. That the same word go in English comes from go. Go means to move. That which moves is the cow, in one sense. But everything moves in that sense. Everything, we also move. Why are we not cow? It is said, Sarvatmana upayogam gacchati iti gauhu, of which when the cow moves, life sustains on this land. Therefore it is cow. Why? Because when a cow moves, there are a lot of things that happen in this existence. When the cow puts his hoof steps, there is microbial activity that augments the soil to nourish itself. When the cow urinates and passes stool, which is cow dung, it rejuvenates the soil. There are so many microbial insects and worms which cherish and nourish the land. When the cow's saliva sucks the grass out, that saliva actually nourishes the grass and make it fertile, and the land becomes happy. When the cow moves, its mere movement of its tail and its legs brings auspiciousness to the land in terms of energy, both subtle as well as gross energies. So, the cow's movements is very auspicious. You just observe the cows. When you are around the cow, the land is very fertile. If you go to our Hare Krishna valley, you will see Keshav Prabhu and Manigriva Prabhu on the top of the farm. They take the cows. They have one block. They have the cows there. The cows feed on that land. And then after 3 months of feeding, the cows are moved to the second piece of land. Now that land where the cows have fed, that becomes very fertile just by letting the cows graze there. So grazing of the cows is just not, activity of the illiterate. Grazing of the cows has a very deep purpose to sustain land, water and air, and it has a bearing to sustain life on this planet Earth. So Krishna doesn't do just because he's a grazer of the cows for selling milk. It's just not product what you see, because you've seen cow as a giver of a product called milk. But no, cow itself, we see just the animal called cow. But the cow is so auspicious, just by the cow's movement, the energies that it passes is so auspicious to the land. The vibrations when the cow passes, not any cow, not the cow that is grown for beef, these are indigenous cows. That is why the more closer we live to nature, the more better we can understand. So this revolution Krishna brought of tending to the cows. Because every time, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, Krishna says, glanihi. What was the glani during that time? Kamsa's pressure was so much, just like the corporate behemoths here today. It is said, the dairy industry in Australia is fast depleting because of the pressures from companies such as the corporates where you go and buy from Woolies and Coles, They are killing off the dairy industry because you have to sell it so cheap. We cannot put our mother cow dairy milk in Coles because they demand the price to be reduced. Then what will happen? Eventually the farms will be killed. The cows have to be killed, They're very demoniac. So therefore, that was the pressure of Kamsa on the Brajvasis to reduce the cost of production. So what they were doing, the calves were, betrayed from drinking the milk. And the cows were overfed at the same place. So the land was getting affected. Krishna said, we cannot stay in one place more than 1 year or 2 years. We have to move. He kept on moving them from, why do we have 12 vanas in Vrindavan? Why not one vana altogether? Have you ever meditated on that? Because every year he used to graze the cows in every different forest. You can't let the cows graze in one place all the time round the year for the next 10 years because that land's going to become dead. You have to allow the land to blossom again. So the cows will graze in one area, then Krishna will take them all to another forest, graze there, take them to another forest, graze there, take them to another forest. So like that, by the time he comes to the first forest, it's bounty again for the cows and the land gets cherished and nourished. So a lot of science is behind why the cows. So we have to understand. That's one thing. Second thing, cow grazing, Krishna is telling, if you actually see the Vedic past, if children go and join the Gurukul, you know what is the first activity they are said? Even today, if you go and study in a traditional Gurukul, what is the first activity the children are taught? You know what it is? Take a guess. Prashadam? Take a guess. Yes, taking care of the cows. It is written in the Upanishads. When a shishya comes to Guru, Guru says, take the cows and go. And he says, you will be ready for instruction. I have given you 100 cows. When the cows become 200, you come for me for the classes. Now one may think, is this free slavery? Free slavery, no? You make 100 ko 200, you make it 200, double the cows, and then you come for classes. Why? Why does the Vedas also means the cows. Why so much about the cows? First thing. Second thing, every king should have a Goshala. Every king should know how to graze the cows. What has a king got to do with it? So Krishna grazing the cows is not just an activity to produce dairy products. It means one has to be trained in the attributes of nourishing and sustaining life in this Mother Earth. That is what tending the cows means. Tending the cows doesn't mean just make the cows to graze. The whole science of tending a cow means how can one sustain life in this existence. Even a soldier has to know how to tend a cow. A doctor, a teacher, a soldier, a businessman, every aspect of Vedic past and culture means they need to know how to tend the cows. Because if they know how to tend the cows, every occupation's principal duty is to sustain life. No matter you're a soldier. Is the soldier's duty to sustain life or not? Or to only kill? No, he kills to sustain the pious. That we have to understand. A teacher, does a teacher sustain life? Yes, the whole purpose of education is to sustain life on this planet so they can come to the point of Krishna consciousness. So therefore, grazing the cows has a very deep impact on the occupation of the jiva. Dharma. That is why yada yada hi dharmasya. So when the Brajvasis lost their dharma of taking care of the cows and taking care of the land, Krishna came and says, then he hides himself from Indra, Gopta. He hides Indra through Maya Shakti and says, now you'll not realize who I am. And then he teaches them through lifting the Govardhana Parvata. Why did he lift Govardhana? Govardhana means what? The dhana, the treasure, the gift of treasure for the cows is Govardhana. It doesn't mean we only go to Vrindavana and do a circumambulation of Govardhana. Krishna meant that every town and village should have a Govardhana, which was there until 50-60 years ago. There was a patch of land called cow grazing land in every village in Bharata Bhumi. Now there is no, they're all concrete jungles. So Krishna's teachings are not restricted only to Vrindavana. Krishna's teachings are not restricted only to bhakti. It is for everything. It is both material and spiritual. So Krishna's teachings are not very limited in it. It's got a vast, if somebody studies Krishna's teachings, his grazing of the cows itself has a deeper impact on the consciousness. That is very important. Not just to drink milk. Does it make sense? Am I making sense? So therefore, if we sustain this life for all living beings, then such a person who sustains that life is called as a Brahmana. Not just the second initiated. Brahmana means who sustains the cows. Brahmana means who sustains the cows, or go means the Vedas, or who teaches the Vedas in the proper way. Brahmana means, if you see the definition of Brahmana, Krishna gave samo damo tapas saucham kshantirarjavam evacha jnanam vignana sahitam brahma karma svabhavajam. This is his nature. Nature of a Brahmana is to sustain all of this. Shama, dama, tapa, saucham, kshantir, arjavam, jnanam, vignanam sahitam. Jnana means to knowledge, transcendental knowledge. This is the purpose of knowledge. If that is lost, he is not a Brahmana. Because if attaining an occupation is to make money, then he is actually a Shudra. Shudra actually is not even a Shudra, he is actually a Mlecha, because Shudra also has a very high definition. Shuchadravana. Shudra means one who actually yearns to help the people to sustain. That is the definition of a Shudra. Actually, not even Shudra, one who actually does only for money, is lower than a Shudra. He's a Mlecha, actually. He doesn't even fall in the Chaturvarna system, actually, in one sense. Because Shudra means the most pious and the foundational for the Chaturvarna society. Because if you cannot come to the platform of Shudra, we cannot even be human beings. The primary qualification to be a human being, you have to become a Shudra first. That's why we are all Dasas. Dasa means a servant. So become a Shudra first and then become a Brahmana. Shudra is important. So therefore, the quality of just having an occupation for money is lower than a Shudra in one sense. I'm just giving a comparison to both. So therefore, in this verse, Prabhupada says, Namo Brahmanya Devaya. Why he's a lord of the Brahmana? Here Brahmana means a devotee. A devotee. Because these are the qualities that the devotee encompasses. not a caste Brahmana, not a Brahmana by birth. Brahmana can never be by birth. It is only karma. It is janma. Sorry, what is that? It is karma and the quality, the nature. Huh? Guna karma, guna and karma. Thank you, Prabhupada. It is based on guna and karma. It is not based on janma. So, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. So, therefore, he is hita towards whom? Go and Brahmana, cows and the Brahmanas. Then, by doing this, Jagad Hitaya. Therefore, cows are important to the land and land is important to the cows. Both sustenance of land and cows will sustain the Brahminical society. Therefore, Prabhupada makes a very critical statement. He says, from the Lord's personal activities, that is why this is important, from the Lord's personal activities, human society should learn to give protection specifically to Brahmanas and the cows. Then, what happens if you protect the Brahmana and the cows? The protection of religious principles. Then Dharma can be upkept, fulfilling the aim of human life. What is the aim of human life? To attain Krishna consciousness and protection of Vedic. So there are three things that can be achieved. Religious principles, protection of religious principles, fulfillment of aim of life, and protection of Vedic knowledge can be achieved just by protecting Go and Brahmana. It is not a patriarchal society where you protect some particular caste of people called Brahmana. It is not that restricted definition at all. Brahmana means Brahmajanati iti Brahmana. A devotee is a Brahmana. One who knows how to sustain all life in this planet Earth for the well-being of their spiritual well-being is a Brahmana. So, Jagadhitaya, therefore he is Jagadhitaya. Jagat means this Charachara Prakriti, this material world or Mother Earth. Jagadhitaya, that is Krishnaya. What is that next line? Govindaya Namo Namah. Therefore he is Govinda. Again, Govinda, again we can go to the etymology of why he is called Govinda. So I'll stop here. This is the beautiful understanding of Go Vraja. That is why Go Vipra Sura Sadhunam Chandasam Api Cheshwaraha Raksham Ichham Stamardhatte Dharmasyartha Chaivahi. This is the meaning of this verse. Therefore the Lord descends to establish this time and again to bring religiosity and establishing Dharma on this planet Earth. Dharma again does not mean Hinduism or something like that. Dharma means Swadharma of the Jivas. To get back to their Swarupa. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much for eagerly lending your ear and helping me to understand Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Any questions or comments if we have any? Yeah. That's why we don't restrict just because he's cow and he's selling milk and cheese product. That was not the whole intent. In fact, what was happening, there's a story where in Bhagavatam you will see Krishna sometimes used to go and steal butter. One is of course to have the pastime with the gopis. But have you ever wondered why so much butter was produced? Where was it all going? It was sold to Mathura because Kamsa were pressurizing. And sometimes you have seen Krishna used to go and urinate. Have you realized that? Krishna has to go and urinate in that places. Sometimes, why did Krishna do this? This is because to teach the Brajavasis a lesson, now I have dirtied this butter and yogurt, how will you sell it to Kamsa? You sell this only to him. Because these were all going to Kamsa. So you have to understand why Krishna is doing this. And he said, by over-exploiting your cows and the land, by trying to please that demon, you are destroying your own land, which is Vrajabhumi. You are destroying your cows, which is our wealth. So therefore, don't be so succumbed to this pressure of Kamsa. See, that is why the first lesson, Krishna killed the demon Putana when he was how many days old? Around 7 days old. He could have gone and killed Kamsa immediately and released Vasudeva and Devaki. Is it not? But he did not do that. He found grazing the cows to be more important than going and releasing his parents. Because he said, first I have to establish a dharma in Vraja. Then I will go and release them. So from 4 years to 11 years, for 7 years, he tended the cows. For 7 years, teaching the Brajavasis how to do it. And then he went and did what he had to do with Kamsa. Then he dealt with Kamsa later. So therefore, Krishna's activities have to be studied with PhD. You have to hold a lens and study every step Krishna takes. We can have volumes of philosophy written around it. So that's why it was very intriguing of why cows and Brahmanas. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
In ISKCON, the Brahmanas, most of them don't know how to tend the cows. So, what's the difference between the Brahmanas in ISKCON and the Vedic Brahmanas?
At the moment, the whole point of Prabhupada's guideline was we serve the deities. That's why we need Brahmanas. But we are very fortunate, we have a lot of beautiful cows. If you want to tend the cows, we can learn it from Manigriva Prabhu. Stay there in the farm for a few days and learn to tend the beautiful cows we've got. And he can train us. And I just love him the way he takes the cows for grazing behind his house. And they listen to him so nicely. So maybe just a few weeks to tend the cows is nice. It brings us a lot of, even, from a mental perspective. There are several farms in Australia where they give you a cow hug and you have to pay $50 for it. You know that? To get rid of your depression. Have you known that? Have you known that? You have to buy tickets to go and hug a cow so that you can get relieved of your depression. So it's a good activity. If you're fortunate, we can do. But otherwise, if we are not, we just follow the principles by chanting the mantras and following the principles. Thereby, we still remain. But in the Vedic society, the cows were tended. But ISKCON is still fortunate. That's why Prabhupada had put the farm also together. So we can always have that connection with the cows in some form or the other. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Thank you.
ISKCON Brahmanas, they don't personally tend the cows, but they give the knowledge to the people whoever can do to tend the cows. So
sometimes we are followers of Krishna. Sometimes we are followers of Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Sometimes we tend the cows in the farm. Sometimes we tend the cow called Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So we are also right now tending a cow called Bhagavata Purana. So this is also Gauhu or cow. So when we don't have the physical advantage of the cows, we tend these cows, which is Shastra. So thank you, Mazzi. Thank you for a wonderful point. So we will end here. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.